Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Zoe and I love to paint. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a recent painting of mine I call Spirit Bears, and as well as a new project I've been working on, which is my pottery. And I'm super excited to show you that. So let's go ahead and get started painting. For this piece, I was really inspired by Eric Aho, who I have mentioned before. I saw some of his work in Banff, and he does these abstracted landscapes that are mostly blocks of color. And so I really wanted to bring that to this piece to create these like PNW inspired imaginary waterfalls for my background. And I was having a lot of fun letting that orange and yellow come through. I really wanted it to look loose and colorful and bright, and I think I succeeded. The goal here too was to have as many bears, grizzlies as I could in this piece, and I have a mix of grizzly and black bear just because I wanted to show coexistence. And then the highlight and emphasis of this piece is going to be the white spirit bear that's kind of front in the right hand corner. And spirit bears are really beautiful. They're a subspecies of black bear where their fur turns completely white, and I just think they're so beautiful. So I really just wanted to create this woodsy piece with all the different bears in it. Another honorable mention for inspiration in this piece is going to be Ivan Earl. I have always loved him. The way he does his trees is so beautiful. And I also love how he uses them to kind of frame the composition and add some things in the foreground. So that's what the left-hand corner is inspired by. I had so much fun mixing acrylic and oil on this piece. Here I'm just using a base of acrylic, kind of this like cream color, so that the white is really gonna pop, and then it'll feel like there's these layers of fur. And then here's me just finishing up the little black bear in the left corner, and you can see all the little dots on the tree. That's very Ivan Earl. I had so much fun painting the salmon in the background and foreground too, with these little pops of red coming through, kind of creating a stylized salmon that I really love. And here is the finished piece. Hope you enjoy. And now I'm going to show you how I made these vessels. So I thought it would be really fun to take you through this process of my first ever doing my own ceramics from home. Obviously, I did a couple courses in college and in high school where I had a teacher and a kiln and everything. But here in Kansas, I discovered this new thing called Kiln Share, and it's a website where you can look up kilns in your area that you can use. And luckily, there's several in my area, so I was able to kind of do my own mugs I really wanted to create mugs that were inspired by my two recent paintings I did. The one I did in my recent Colorado video with all of the animals together, and then the Spirit Bears one. So what I did was I used colored porcelain, and the style of mug that I really wanted to try is called narikomi, which is, I believe, a Japanese technique using colored clay and specifically in layers. So I got a collection of different colored porcelains, and here I am wedging the clay. You have to do this quite a bit to be able to get all the air pockets out so that your piece doesn't explode in the kiln. So I spent quite a long time wedging each colored bit of clay, and then you're going to see a little bit here. What you do is you cut it up into sections, and then you layer them on top of each other, and then you wedge them again, which is kind of just like throwing them down to get the air out and to make them stick together to create these beautiful kind of like paint. They look like painted pictures, but really natural, and they're super beautiful. But here I am just like cutting it into sections to start forming my block. And here I am wedging more of my colors. You can see I've got a blue and some greens and different colors of blue. I really wanted to, this piece is specifically for the Colorado painting that you saw at the very beginning of this video too, just me finishing it up. Here I'm using water to connect all of my colored slabs together, and then I'm going to start showing you the wedging process for this. So wedging is just throwing it back and forth in different sides. I'm trying to keep it into a block so that I can create these slabs to form the front of my cup. And you can see just how many times I was wedging it and moving it back and forth and using my hands to really make it nice and flat and get it to mesh together. It was kind of getting stuck on my board, so I didn't really want to invest in crazy supplies this time around, but I really like how it turned out. Here you can see the cross section. Wow, look at those layers! I'm so excited. It looks just like the different layers of my painting, and it made me so happy. So I continued on slicing. I needed enough layers to form the full, I guess, round shape of the cup, if that makes sense. I'll show you a little bit later, but. Here's what the colors look like together, and then I used this water bottle because I didn't have a rolling pin to roll it out to stretch it to really make it the right size to start forming a cup. Then I trimmed the edges to be able to make it nice and flat, and then I used all the extra pieces to form like the base of the cup, and then I made other cups as well with the scraps. This is just like the first cup that I'm showing you. Then using the slip and score method, I went ahead and attached all of my elements together, the cup onto the bottom and then the sides, made them flush and connected them, and it was quite a process. It took me a long time to be able to flatten out the sides. I think I was really afraid of just ruining the colors, which in hindsight, I don't think I needed to be as worried as I was. And then it was also really hard to make it nice and flat. It's like hand built, so it's not supposed to be perfectly even. And I think those little like bumps and lumps are what make it handmade and unique. But yeah, I just really wanted it to look professional, and you know, since it was my first cup, I really tried my hardest. I also decided to cut off a bit of the lip because it was uneven, and I don't think I needed to do this. If anything, it just made it kind of worse because I think the like nice rolled edges from my water bottle were uniform, and then afterwards it was kind of like a little bit more obvious that one side was not as thick as the other. But you know, again, like I said, maybe that's just the side that you drink off of. And then here I'm using a little rolled piece of clay to again slip and score the inside. I really didn't want anything to crack, so I again tried my hardest to make sure everything was secure and that it wouldn't break in the kiln. And here's a piece that I was so excited for. That little yellow in the middle was going to be so cute, and it split right down the middle. Taking my babies to the kiln today. Hey! We're going to take the pots to be fired today. 3 out of 5 have survived. I've learned since drying, A, it took 2 months, so that was crazy. I don't know what I did wrong there. I think I need to find a more humid spot in my house. And then B, I dried them all bottom up, so they like dried inconsistently, and 2 of them just like cracked completely down the middle, so that was really sad. But I've now learned that you're supposed to flip it over onto the top, and so the bottom should be kind of facing up so that all the moisture flows downward and like dries more evenly. So we are on the way to the kiln. It's like 30 minutes one way, so that's fun. Here is my finished piece. I like to call this one the Summit Sipper. I think that's really cute and very granola. And there's the painting it's inspired by. I love the color story on this. I think I did such a good job, and I'm very proud of myself. And yeah, hope you enjoyed my mug. And then here's my other 2 ones inspired by the Spirit Bears painting. I call these ones my Cascade cups because they didn't have handles. I didn't have enough clay to make handles, but I think they're both so unique and beautiful, and they match my painting perfectly. And I like the little white on the bottom of this one. I think it's very like minimalist and beautiful. If you're interested in any of these mugs, the link for my Etsy shop will be available in my description box below. But thank you so much for watching this video.